In this lesson, I want to show you some of the configuration settings on the DNS server that tie into the resolution process. So on my DNS server, I'm going to open Server Manager. In Server Manager, I'm going to go to Tools, and this gives me a list of my administrative tools. The DNS server is in this list. In DNS, if I want to see the cached lookups, I have to click View and Advanced. When I click Advanced, it shows this cache lookups folder at the bottom of this list. This would give me an entry of every name to IP that's cached on this DNS server. At the moment, my DNS server does not have any records cached on it, as it is not directly connected to the internet, and I don't have any clients actually using this as their primary DNS server. But this is the location I would see all the cache lookups on this. Something to keep in mind that's extremely important. If you were to go to a DNS server and you ran the command ipconfig/displaydns or ipconfig/flushdns to purge the cache, that has no effect on the DNS server role. ipconfig would only display names that you've resolved directly from the server itself. Meaning, if I sat at the server and I browsed the internet, which you should never do, or if I browsed other machines on the network from the DNS server, those entries would show up in ipconfig. If I ran ipconfig/flushdns in the command prompt, I would only flush names that I had resolved locally from that machine. When you install the DNS role, it creates a completely separate cache repository on the DNS server itself. ipconfig commands have no effect on the cache of DNS itself. If I wanted to clear the cache on the DNS server, I could right-click the DNS server itself, and there is an option to clear cache. That would be the equivalent of the ipconfig/flushdns, but this would clear the DNS cache at the server level. One of the other key components we looked at was root hints. If I right-click my DNS server and go to the Properties, there is a root hints tab on the properties of the server. Notice it's already populated. We have these servers, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Alpha through Mike, or A through M, are the servers that show up here. This list is pre-populated on all Windows DNS servers. These are the root servers that resolve every top-level domain. All of the .com, .net, .gov, .edu, they resolve all of those names to the group of servers that are responsible for that namespace. So my DNS server I have in the enterprise, by default, is aware of who the root servers on the internet are. Any query sent to this DNS server that it cannot directly resolve, it will simply pass that query out to one of these root servers, and it will send you a referral that redirects you to the correct namespace server, the .com server, in our example we used earlier. So that is loaded automatically. Now, where this actually gets populated from, if I open the C drive on my machine, Windows, System 32, there is a DNS folder in System 32. In this DNS folder, there's a file named cache.dns. If I open that file, I'll open it with Notepad. It's actually a legible file, and I can see all of the servers, the A server, the B server, so I see the name and IP address of every root server. When the DNS role is installed, this file is automatically created. This file is then simply added to that root hints tab we were just on. So that's how they become populated. And that is automatically done by default, not a configuration setting I have to make. So all Windows servers completely know how to resolve internet-based names out of the box with their default configuration.